what you filled in your forms, and so exactly how you scored. The only addition here is that we got the total, which some of you also got. I saw the team with only ladies. This is adding using a calculator. And then we have the average here. This average, we get this and this. You can see those two. The ones I've selected. We get those two, we get this one. So 46 and 50, we get them to get that 48, an average. And then we also look at passion. If you see, let's see here, I need to start from real one. So passion, we get it and see how each of them scored their passion. For example, somebody scored 96.77, and if you check what columns we chose, or what columns we picked, was this: the applicant applied for an available skill set, meaning that is what they are passionate about. So we give them some 2 for loving what we're offering. Then another one is the applicant is passionate about an available skill set. Okay, the same thing, but that is now from the expression, how they are explaining themselves about that skill set. This one, even if the person had applied for another skill, but then they are able to explain themselves about whatever is available, you give them the scores. Then the third one is, third passion factor is the applicant knows how they will use the skill after training. So we scored that out of 7, and you guys gave your own scores. And then the other one is the applicant has strong motivation to acquire the skill. That is also a passion question. And then the last one under passion is the last question here, where we say the applicants can commit against all odds to the completion of the program. I went to one room and somebody was saying, so this training will be very far and we shall not provide transport. Are you going to make it there? So the person was trying to look for that person's commitment. So it also comes from the passion that you can commit against all odds. So we got all those. When you added this, I was about to point with my hand. If you get this, plus this, plus this, plus this, plus this, you're able to get a total of 31. And that is why in the formula here you can see we have summed them and divided by 31. That is 31. Then we make it in percentage. That is why we have this 96%. So now we know how you felt, each of you, each of the 2 judges or interviewers felt about the passion of each applicant. So when it comes to need, still we average the passion. We get this and this, we average it. So we get this one plus this one divided by 2, and then we get the average score given by the 2 interviewers. This one got 98.39, got another one given 100%. And then we also went to need, and need we also did the same. We got E13, we got this. The question was the acquired skill. Okay, not starting from that. The first question is, or under need, is this the applicant we are looking for? Because, you know, the person really tells you their life story and you really feel like, okay, this person needs this help. So that one is a question under need, which is scored 3. You were scoring them out of 3. Then we have a question of the applicant has personal stroke family needs that only him or her can address. We scored that out of 8. You guys gave your scores. And then the last question underneath is the acquired skill will address the need of the applicant and his or her household. Those were the 3 questions underneath. And if you added this, which was out of 8, plus this out of 8, that is 16, plus this out of 3, gives you plus 8 plus 3, 16 plus 3, that is 19. And that is why in this we have summed it and divided out of 19 to give us our percentage. Just the same way, we also got the average here, and thereafter we got the average percent, whereby we are getting the average percent of passion and percent of need. You can see how it highlights this and this, then you get the overall percent that this person has scored. Now, the big question is, from this analysis, we are supposed to see, you have to be accountable to the scores you gave. You're not just going to give a score and get away with it. So, if we find in your score here, the difference between the first interviewer and the second interviewer is very big. So both of you will have to explain, why did you give very small and why did you give very big? Because we want to be sure. That is one. And then the other discussion is going to be when we are in this sheet of ranking, when we are doing the ranking here, we shall have already chosen the first 25, but there are those candidates that behaved in a way you would really tell qualitatively that this person, even if you give them the opportunity, they may not even finish, or they really have need, but they have this issue that they may not be able to. So here we are having the why yes, why should we take this person, and why we should not take the person. So beyond the quantitative analysis where we are dealing with numbers, there are things you guys observed and you have written in your papers. Now those ones are supposed to enter here, and we are supposed to give it another score out of 10. If at all you have a strong point, anyway, we don't have to add a score there. When you are able to convince the house that this person is below the first 25, but this is the issue this person has, that should allow the person to be what? Taken. Then we are going to explain that issue here, and we can agree all together that let us take this person. Then somebody can be in the first 25, but the way you observed, you really feel like this person, because of this and this kind of behavior, or because of this story they told us that does not align with what we're doing, this person should not. For example, we had here somebody, I don't want to even display the name. Why yes, somebody said this was for last year, a single mother taking care of 6 orphans. She wants to use the skills to generate income and get basic needs. And then why not? We were tough, then everyone we were writing, why not? Why yes? And then the answer was, she is not interested in working in a group. She needs her own tailoring machine. She's currently surviving on another skill of hairdressing. So those were now we felt like this person, first of all, does not want to work in a group. And then secondly, the person is surviving on hairdressing, and which is not part of whatever we are offering. I don't know if we ever took the person. The decision here was reserved. We reserved the person. But I think we forgot to go back to our reserve list. This time we shall remember to go.
We picked one.
We picked one from the reserve list.
Yeah.
So that is another thing we are going to do in this process of selecting. There's this one here. The person scored really very well, and he was in the first 25. But why yes, he dropped out of school, living alone in January. He needed the skill, but then the other one is he is lazy and may not complete the training. No, you were able to tell that somebody is lazy. I went to some By the Hamid, you thought I was not doing my work. I did it. I was moving around and I reached somewhere. I got a story of a candidate who came and was all like on the phone, like with headsets on, like the interviewers had to tell the person, please, remove the headset and the top. Now, imagine like that. And I'm not saying we should not include the person, but that is just an example of why not that we could have. And these are things that you cannot see in the numbers. You have to see it from here. So, in this ranking, automatically we are going to rank this and get the top 25. And to save time, the top 25 we shall look at why not. If at all there is a reason not to take this person, now that they have qualified in the top 25, if anyone has a reason not to take the person, you who are interviewing them, you tell us and we write on the why not. And then those who will be after the 25, if you know somebody below there, who you feel like, okay, this person is far below there, but this person deserves to be taken, you give us the why yes. Then we shall see what to do about the person as a group together. I think that is all from my side. Any question before we start from the first one? From comparing the scores that were given? No question.
Well, I have an inquiry.